Alright, so we gonna get straight into it, no sticking and all that stuff. So the first thing we're gonna be talking about is your training. This one is very important. So when it comes to training, you want to be doing not just isolation or cable movements, but you want to also be doing compound movements. You actually want to base your program around compound movements. So the compound movements we're talking about is overhead press, bench press, squat, and deadlift. So those four, those are big for also rows. So you want to be progressing with them over time. You don't want to just be lifting the same weight for like 6 months. You want to progress with them over time, and you want to be doing them at least 3 to 4 times for the week in order to see good results. So the reason why these are a lot better than just like the cables and the machines and stuff like that is because they stimulate the big muscle groups, and they stimulate them a lot more than like a machine would. Like I said, the isolation stuff is good, but yeah, those compound movements really gonna get the ball rolling. So the next thing we're gonna be discussing is a diet. This one's really important. So my top 4 to 5 foods would be beef, eggs, red meat. So beef, eggs, oysters. I know oysters and eggs on red meat, but red meat and chicken, leafy greens. You want to get healthy fats in, so you want to get walnuts, avocados, stuff like that. Have those stuff in your diet, and then also have just try to keep it as organic as you could. If you could do that, if you have the access in order to do that, keep it as organic as you could. So diet, you want to be eating a sufficient amount of calories, because if you're not eating enough, your body just kind of signal it as starvation, which I have had issues with in the past. But yeah, so you need to eat enough, and you need to train hard enough, and you need to hit this week in, week out, and you need to stack it over time. Like, this takes really long. Like, this is not just like if you were to be pinning after like 2 weeks, you would see insane results. This is something that is not easy at all, and it's gonna take a lot of time, effort, and directed consistency. It's not just like I slept well for 2 days and then I train hard for 2 days. Why am I not? Why do my bones not grow? Why am I not taller? Why am I not? No, it takes really long, especially as you get older, and as you get out of puberty, it's gonna take you a lot longer than if you were to be now starting off. So the third thing we're gonna be talking about is recovery. You want to be recovering proper, because when you recover, that's when you actually grow. If you're training, that's when you get the stimulus, and then recovery is when you're actually going to get like the growth. That's when you grow. You understand? So sleep is really important. You want to be getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and the hardest thing about sleep is actually getting in bed at the same hour every night and then getting deep sleep. In order to get sleep as deep as possible, you want to be before you go to sleep, so you don't want to have anything to eat about 2 hours before you go to sleep, and then an hour before, you're gonna want to start to like get in a certain mode now. Like, you had to cut off the stimulation, you had to cut off the screens, you had to cut off like all the extra stuff, like any super engaging task that you have to do. You want to get out of the way like a couple of hours before you go to sleep. You don't want to be doing anything too engaging right before you go to sleep, because it would make it a lot harder to actually fall asleep. And if you do fall asleep, you wouldn't get that deep restorative sleep that you want to get. So sleep is important. It's hard, but it's important. And ideally, you want to go for the same time every single day, and you want to go for the same wake time every single day as well. And you want to just basically try to have it in a certain schedule. You understand? So when it comes to like growth hormone and testosterone, those stuff, your growth hormone peaks at 10 p.m. And as we speaking on growth hormone, something I advocate for a lot is sprinting. Sprinting is the one exercise that actually is going to increase your test and your growth hormone more than anything else. Like, when you sprint, you are going basically all out for anywhere from like 20 to 40 seconds. So you're going all out. You're working just about every single muscle group, and even when I go on a sprint, you could feel like your face pumping, you could feel like your heart beating, you could feel it. You understand? It's like it's an intense workout. I think it boosts growth hormone by like some 300%, like right after you're done with a sprint. So yeah, if you're not sprinting like and you want to optimize this, you should definitely tap into that. You should definitely tap into that, and that's gonna help you with everything. That's actually gonna help you like grow your muscles and your facial bones, and it's gonna help you grow your delts, all those sorts of stuff like that. So training, recovery, diet, and the last one we're going to talk about is mindset and habits and stuff like that. So you want to be competing, you want to be getting into some type of competition, whether that is with other people or your past self, but you want to have that kind of mindset. You want to have a mindset where you're stacking your wins over time and you're being consistent with it and you're being disciplined with it, you understand? So yeah, that is basically it. This is not easy. The protocol is simple, but it is really not easy. It takes really long as well, and as you get older, it's even more difficult to do. But it's very much possible, and if you do this for long enough, you can see a lot of different benefits. Like your face will change, your entire body will change. Not just like grow muscle, but like your frame would change, your face would change, your voice will get deeper. You might grow your Adam's apple. Your mindset will change. There's a lot of stuff. It's a entire life shift, to be honest. But if you guys enjoyed this video, or if you found it helpful, let me know what you found helpful, and let me know where you are on your journey, and hit me on Instagram with any questions you got. I'll see you later.